What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. NXT Heatwave is in the books. It felt like a televised premium live event. I felt like Shawn Michaels did a very good job with most of the stuff that was presented on the show. We are building towards the next premium live event, which is No Mercy, which is going to take place on September 30th. So we have about 6.5 to 7 weeks of build for that show. So that should be fun there. But overall, the show itself was good. You know, I'm not going to hold you guys up. It was a very solid 2-hour show for the most part. So let's go ahead and get into NXT Heatwave for August the 22nd, 2023. So we kicked the show off with Tony D and Stax. They're hanging out at the pool. They go over tonight's matches, and then they're joined by friends of theirs, and then the segment ends with the family toasting each other to another great summer. So I really enjoyed that. That was really good. First match of the night, Ilja Dragunov versus Trick Williams. This match was great. I loved it. This was a really good TV match. But what screwed it up was damn picture-in-picture commercials. I hate that shit. I cannot stand picture-in-picture commercials. I hate it. But in the end, Ilja Dragunov wins via a big falling right hand from the top rope for the 1-2-3. Solid match. Really and truthfully, for me, it was match of the night already. That was match of the night. It was great. Fucking loved it. Really good stuff from Dragunov and Trick. Trick really proved himself here. Did a bunch of power moves. You know, it was great. Like, both Ilja and Trick are stars. I think when Ilja goes to the main roster, I think he's going to thrive, especially in the mid-card role. I think he'll be fine. He could be a great IC champion, a great US champion. He can end up winning the tag team championships with somebody. He can work in some off-title feuds. So there's stuff that he can do. Trick Williams is a star. I do see him being NXT champion in due time. I really do. And he would do great on the main roster. He would be a great utility player on the main roster when his time comes to get called up. All right, so post-match, both guys stand tall. They have a standing ovation. So Ilja looks down at Trick. He's trying to get up, and then he nods. So he gives him a show of respect right there. That was great. I love that. Great. Moving on. So Nathan Fraser, he approaches Tyler Bate backstage. Tyler Bate mentions how Dabba-Kato put one hurting on him last week, but he's stretching the pain out. They talk about tonight's Heritage Cup match. And Tyler Bate agrees to have Nathan Fraser's back and go with him to ringside. So Nathan Fraser promises Bate will be the first to get a title shot after tonight. Tyler Bate says that he's all for him and Fraser taking out the Metaphor tonight. Moving on. So Dom and Rhea, they're backstage warming up. So Mustafa Ali, he interrupts and wishes them good luck tonight. Ali hopes that Dominik breaks a leg so he can leave NXT and we can have a real North American champion that we can all be proud of. So Dominik says he didn't care about NXT, only his mommy. Then they have some more words until Holly leaves. So that's fine there. And again, I do think that Dominik will probably lose at No Mercy. So I do see him being in NXT for another month and a half. And then when No Mercy comes, he'll lose. And then he'll probably go back to Raw the following night. So that's what's going to make the most sense. Because he and Rhea are the only two members of Judgment Day that I like. Like, they're fine as a duo. They're fine. Moving on. So, Ivy Nile, my girl, she is taking on Ava Raine. So, this was a very quick match. It didn't last long. So, Ivy Nile gets the win via the Dragon Sleeper. And Ava immediately taps out. So, it's fine there. So, my girl finally gets the win. So, Shawn Michaels does care about my girl, which is great. Really, really good shit there. So, post-match, Ivy Nile stands tall. And then she holds Ava in the hold again as the Schism and their followers hit the apron. So, Ivy Nile then fights off some of the members of Schism. She hits a couple of strikes and a German suplex. And then two of the masked followers pull Ava to safety. And then there are some chants that break out for the Creed brothers. So, that makes sense. We all know that the Creeds have been behind this for several weeks now. They've been giving us, little nuggets of information that it's them under those masks. And it was blatantly obvious last week. So, moving on. So, Wes Lee, he's backstage. He's on the phone talking to one of his buddies. I don't know. It could be Trey or it could be Zachary Wentz from Impact. I'm pretty sure he has those guys' contact information. Allegedly. But no, I'm just kidding. Probably so. But, I don't know. He could have been talking to his wife. Who knows? Who knows? Who really cares? But Ilja Dragunov comes in. So Ilja's feeling good. Now that Trick Williams is no longer an issue. And now nothing is in the way of his destiny. Ilja goes on, but Wes Lee interrupts and says Ilja knows he'll be the new NXT champion after tonight. So Wes Lee says this title that Dragunov won so badly will be on his shoulder. Wes Lee goes on about how he made his own destiny. Wes Lee can see he will have to go against the Mad Dragon soon, but as the NXT champion, and he looks forward to it. And then Wes Lee walks off. So this leads us into Noam Dar versus Nathan Fraser, NXT Heritage Cup match to crown the real champion. Who cares? Basically, so the first round goes to Noam Dar. How did he win that? Let me think. I think he won that off of a distraction because earlier on in the match, Dabba-Kato came down and beat the shit out of Tyler Bate. So I'm guessing he got the win that way. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think he did. I wasn't paying attention. I think he did. So the second win goes to Nathan Fraser. He wins via the final cut for the 1-2-3. So they're 1-1. And then towards the end of the match, Nathan Fraser attempts to go for the Phoenix Splash. And then Noam Dar wins via the Nova Roller for the 1, 2, 3. Because Nathan Fraser had to fight off all of the metaphor, the rest of the metaphor. So Noam Dar wins. He's the new NXT Heritage Cup champion. Cool. It makes perfect sense, you know. What creeps me out is I don't get why so many wrestlers now paint their fingernails. That is so stupid. That's like some femboy type shit. Matt Riddle does it. Seth Rollins does it. Noam Dar does it. It's goofy as fuck. Be a man. And I mean that. Like, be a man. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's so stupid. Like, what the fuck? You're a grown-ass man. Act like it. Shit. Moving on. So, Ava Raine is backstage with the 2 followers that saved her earlier. She says, thanks to their bravery and loyalty, she's able to stand under the Schism's tree. Ava addresses Ivy Nile and says she tried to end her career but failed. Ava says Ivy is a failure just like the Creeds and the Diamond Mine. Then Ava tells Ivy to come prove her wrong. You know where to find her. And then we see a shot of the Creed brothers' lair being destroyed, turned into black and purple forest or whatever, like some schism shit. I don't know. Oh boy. Moving on. Tiffany Stratton, she's out next. So she talks about her successful summer and how she's going to make things better. But how could things get better than this? Tiffany Stratton says she's basically the perfect champion. That word perfect scares some people, but when you're her, perfection comes easy. So she says the title is not going anywhere, which is great, because I thought that she was injured because she hadn't been used in a while. She's the best champion of all time. So she says that she's better than Bayley, Asuka, Becky Lynch, and even Charlotte Flair, but Becky Lynch was never a champion in NXT. I don't think. I don't believe she was, to my knowledge. Tiffany Stratton says she could list. My bad. Tiffany Stratton says the list could go on and on, but for now, she will remain at the tippy top. At the tippy top. So, out comes Gigi Dolan, and she asks Stratton to shut the hell up. Gigi looks ahead to the fall of Tiffany Stratton and says she's the next challenger. So Tiffany Stratton says Gigi is shooting her shot, but she's now shooting it down because Gigi doesn't deserve a title shot. So they have some more words. Kenna James comes out. She interrupts. I'm like, oh, God, no. Please, Shawn Michaels, don't do this. Don't do this. So she knocks Gigi Dolan for thinking she deserves a match. And she says that she's the next challenger for the title. Blair Davenport comes out next. She makes a case for the title. They all argue. Tiffany Stratton says it's time to leave. Out comes Roxanne Perez. And she reminds Blair Davenport about the Great American Bash. Perez then addresses Tiffany Stratton. She punches her, and then there's a brawl between all 4 of them. Tiffany Stratton dips out, and it's going to be a fatal 4-way next week. The winner faces Tiffany Stratton. I'm just like, no, Shawn, don't do this shit, bro. You've already fucked up with this. Come on, man. Don't do this, dog. Don't do it, Shawn. Don't, man. You know I hate fatal 4-ways. Come on, man. Why? We don't need this, man. What are you doing, Shawn Michaels? What are you doing? You could easily do Roxanne Perez versus Tiffany Stratton. You know? Because I think we never got the match, if I can remember correctly. I don't think we ever got the match. I believe Roxanne was out with anxiety at the time. And Tiffany defeated Lyra Valkyrie to become the new NXT Women's Champion. So that's where this is all going full circle, if you're paying attention. But, man, we don't need a damn fatal four-way to have a new number one contender to face Tiffany Stratton. I don't like that. Moving on. So Damon Kemp and Charlie Dempsey are training with while Drew Gulak looks on. So Miles Bourne, he shows up. I'm like, what the hell? So Drew Gulak then taunts him, and then out of nowhere, Dempsey sneaks up from behind and puts him in a sleeper hold on Miles Bourne, making him tap out. And then Gulak knocks Bourne and says they don't tap out. So I guess they're trying to initiate Miles Bourne into the club of Damon Kemp, Charlie Dempsey, and Drew Gulak. After all, Drew Gulak is the pancreas of professional wrestling, according to Bryan Danielson. Yeah. Moving on. So, Ava Raine is at the same location with the two with the two of Schism's followers. So she taunts Ivy now some more until she shows up. Ivy tells the boys to get her. The two masked men are revealed to be the Creed brothers. Ivy beats down Ava now. The Creeds look into the camera and speak to the Schism. If they want to see Ava again, then give the Creeds a match with the Dyad. If the Creeds win, they're reinstated to NXT, and this is going to be a steel cage match. The Creeds are ready to end the Schism. Okay, that's fine there. That's cool. So it does make sense. Obviously, the Creeds are going to win and be in NXT. I think they should do another loser leaves NXT, and then that's when you see the Dyad leave. But they're probably on their way out anyway. Their contracts are going to be up in about a month and a half. I think they're up in October sometime. I don't know if it's early October or mid-October or the end of October, but they're going to be up in October. And I doubt Tony Khan is going to sign the Grizzled Young Vets. They'll probably go to Impact or MLW or something like that. Or maybe go back to the somewhere on the UK Indies. I don't know. But they're complaining because they feel like they're misused. And it's like, bro, as the Grizzled Young Vets, they sucked. They were just match marks. That's all they were. They had no character. At least with this gimmick, they've been able to bring out some character, you know? I don't know, man. Work rate. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But I think they would fit really well in Impact. If we're being honest, they would fit better in Impact than they would in AEW. In AEW, they would just be mid-carders. Moving on. So, the Metaphor, they're backstage celebrating Noam Dar's Heritage Cup win. They aren't back, they're just better. So, a woman from the Heritage Cup committee shows up to serve papers on Noam Dar. Oral Mensa reads them for him. The committee congratulates Dar, but in order to find a worthy opponent next week, they will begin the NXT Global Heritage Invitation. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What is this shit? What? Like, what fuckery is this? So this is going to be an 8-man tournament to determine Noam Dar's challenger for NXT No Mercy. So Noam Dar is thrilled not having to defend the title for 8 weeks. He tells Metaphor they're going to California for No Mercy, and they continue celebrating. Really good stuff there. Wow, that's insane. So I guess that makes sense, but I mean, who would it be? I mean, these have to be solid contenders. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's not that important. Like, this is something that you would do for, like, the NXT Championship or the NXT North American Championship, not the Heritage Cup. Come on, dog. That's like the second mid-card title that they have. Moving on, the mixed tag match, Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley versus Lyra, Valkyrie and Dragon Lee. I'm not going to hold you guys up. This was solid. I enjoyed it. So towards the end of the match, my girl, Raquel Rodríguez, came out. And she was beating down Rhea Ripley. So they went to the back and beat each other's asses. And then Dom ends up losing to Dragon Lee via Destione for the 1, 2, 3. That's what they're calling it. So that's pretty cool. So I think Dragon Lee probably will be the one to defeat Dominik come No Mercy, which actually makes the most sense. And I think it would be a wise decision for him to be the one to defeat Dominik Mysterio, because he is a true babyface. Unlike Mustafa Ali, who is kind of leaning into that heel role, if we're being honest. He's actually playing a tweener role, if we're being honest. He's playing, a more of a neutral role, where at times he's face, at times he's heel. I don't really too much like tweeners. I like a cut and dry babyface or a cut and dry heel. I don't really like it when you kind of blur the lines, if we're being honest. But that's just me. But Mustafa Ali, for all intents and purposes, he's playing a tweener right now. But I don't see him being the one to defeat Dominik Mysterio. I see that honor going to Dragon Lee. And hopefully it does happen, because I'm a fan of both Dragon Lee and Mustafa Ali. Next, it looks like they're planting the seeds of Trick Williams turning on Carmelo Hayes. So, Carmelo's backstage. He's preparing for the main event when Trick walks in. So Trick asks Carmelo if he's ready, and he says he is. Trick gives him some words of support and says tonight start with him and will end with Carmelo Hayes. Trick says this will be Hayes' first big title defense without Trick at his side. So Carmelo brings up what happened with Trick and Ilja at the Great American Bash and how he wants no doubts tonight. There's some tension between the two as Trick asks if Hayes is blaming him for what happened. Carmelo says no. He just wants no one to be able to question him. To be able to question his win. So Trick hands the NXT Championship to Carmelo Hayes. He glances over at it for a second, and then he hands it to him. And then they do their handshake, and then Trick looks on, and then Carmelo walks out. So, again, they're planting the seeds of a heel turn for Trick and Melo, which is fine. Again, WWE has always breaking up tag teams for years. They've done this for years. So this is fine. I think Trick will be a great singles guy on his own. Same thing with Melo. Like, both guys are solid. Like, when they go to the main roster, both are going to be solid guys. But Trick has more upside because, he's like 6'5", I think he's like 230, 240. Like, the guy's built. And he would be somebody who could be World Heavyweight Champion, while someone like Melo could be like U.S. Champion, IC Champion. He might main event some Raws. He might main event some SmackDowns. But Trick is somebody that you could really actually build a brand around. Like, he's that damn good. Like I'm not going to hold you guys up. Like, he's just that damn good. Moving on. So Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with Timmy Stratton. Timmy Stratton's says that her mentions are going off thanks to the Twitter trolls or ex-trolls. She says she knows Becky Lynch was never champion in NXT despite what she said earlier. Timmy Stratton says Becky Lynch might be big time back to the fans, but to Timmy Stratton, she's irrelevant. Timmy Stratton asked She asked Michelle if she saw what happened in the ring earlier. She says that's not how she wanted the summer of Tiffany to end. So now those wannabes will have to fight it out to earn a chance at her title. At her and her title. So then it's confirmed there's going to be a fatal four-way next week. Gigi Dolan versus Blair Davenport versus Kiana James versus Roxanne Perez. And then Tiffany Stratton says toodles. And then she walks off. So there's that. Moving on. So Thea Hale, we see how she lost last week to Jacy Jayne. So then she yelled at Andre Chase. We see post footage of Thea Hale complaining to the referee and asking him to change the decision. He said the result counts, and then he walked off. So Thea Hale was not happy as she ranted about how this is all Andre Chase's fault and how her life sucks now. She's lost all momentum because of Andre Chase. Thea Hale's backstage, and when Jacy Jayne walks up, Jacy Jayne says the beast she wrestled last week was not the same Thea Hale she faced in the past. Jacy Jayne says, if it makes you feel better, we've all been down before. So Jacy Jayne says Thea Hale will get through it. People like us always get through it. And then Jacy Jayne walks away, leaving Thea Hale in thought. So this makes sense. If we had the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, you could put Jacy Jayne and Thea Hale together as a team. That would make sense. But I do think that they're slowly but surely going to turn Thea Hale heel. I just see them going down that route. I really do. It would be a wise decision. Again, Chase University is one of the most over acts on NXT, and they've been quite some time. But like I've always said before, ever since Bodie Haywood got released last year, Chase U's kind of lost their step. I mean, Duke Hudson has served as a solid a replacement, but I really do wish that they would have brought back Bodie Haywood, you know? But I think he's doing some stuff in AEW. I think he's doing some stuff on AEW Dark. Well, now, a.k.a. Ring of Honor. So, I don't know. Moving on. So, let's lead this into Von Wagner versus Baron Corbin. I'm not going to hold you guys up. I didn't watch the match. So, basically, I think this is a no contest. So Bron Breakker comes out, spears Von Wagner. So Bron's wearing a best spear in the business shirt, which is great. And then he stands tall, and he also takes out Baron Corbin as well. So that's fine there. So again, this is setting up a triple threat match. Moving on. So my bad. Shit. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize, guys. Holy shit. So Joe Gacy and Nadia, they're backstage. They're furious with the Creed brothers. So Joe Gacy says they will agree to the earlier demands in order to get Ava back. They comment on how the Creeds think the steel cage will keep the Schism followers out, but they should be worried about who's in the cage with the Creeds. They're ready to end this thing once for all. Okay, that's fine there. Next, we see a video about how Eddie Thorpe cost Dijak a title shot last week at the NXT title. So Dijak speaks and says the NXT title is why he came back to NXT. Eddie Thorpe distracted him. So Dijak goes on and says, there's no need to look at the stars in the ritual dance to see your fate, because Eddie Thorpe just has 1 week before Dijak breaks his bones and spirit. I'm just like, who cares? Who honestly cares? So we then get a tweet from Becky Lynch, who just tweets out, she hasn't been a champion in NXT yet. So that's interesting. And they might end up bringing Becky Lynch to NXT for a little bit. I think that would make sense to give people a little bit of reprieve from Becky Lynch. So I think after she's done with feuding with Trish Stratus at Payback, they'll probably end up bringing Becky Lynch in for a little while to do some stuff with Tiffany Stratton, and I'm fine with that. That actually makes sense. Again, they're trying to make NXT a third brand for the second time, but this time it'll be the right way, right? It won't be with a whole bunch of indie talent. Main event. Carmelo Hayes. Wes Lee versus Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship. So Carmelo wins via the nothing but net. There was a point in the match where they did the dumb count out finish, so Wes Lee was able to get back into the ring at the count of 9, and then seconds later he ate nothing but net for the 1, 2, 3, and then Carmelo Hayes celebrates, and that's how we got off the air. So overall, the show itself was decent for the most part, But what did you guys think? Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for my videos. I'll catch you guys later. I am shocked, though, that Trick Williams didn't turn heel. I thought the Trick was going to come out and attack Carmelo, but it didn't happen. So maybe Shawn Michaels is going to say that for maybe next week. But I do see Trick and Melo splitting up, and Trick wanting NXT gold, So there's that. So please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
To the end.